And
Calming waters.
that feels beautiful.
I remember.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. What a joy. What a joy. My dearly beloved Serena, it is beyond description the gratitude I feel that we are doing this together from now on, experiencing and discovering the magic. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we are going to talk about things that have not been talked about in 2,000 years with Yeshua.
Yeah.
Magic that is a possibility that people have just always said, oh no, he was the only one that could do it.
Yeah. So it's really literally this moment that we share together, Serena and I, and you, everyone who is listening right now and who will listen afterwards. It's literally about discovering what we thought to be impossible, to be magic. Actually and totally, that is what we're gonna share about our experiences and our feelings, and so much that we don't even know right now. So we will be discovering this co-creative conversation as it flows, as it goes. But today is the first time, so maybe we will fill you in a bit on how we came together, and
Oh,
what why this is so special to us. And because even that not even
that
that
was
that is
magic.
very magical.
Oh, yes.
And hi, Matea. Calming waters, Tai Chi, love your name. Innocent games, beautiful. Tiasha, hello, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We're so
So
glad you're
Serena,
here.
would you like to go ahead?
Oh, yes, yes. So that everyone knows we have a lot of people, our energies joining us from the other side as well. This is a remarkable miracle today that we are here sharing with you because from the person that I was 25 years ago to this person that sits here today, I am in awe of it as well. And I can hear Norma when she'd say, don't stay in awe, breathe it in, receive it into your body, because awe is stuck. So we create another miracle. So what? And I'd go, okay. And she'd say, pass the ketchup. We can create miracles so easily. And you see, miracles are magic. And she was so wise in the beginning because she never told me that what she was opening me to was a world of magic, of new possibilities through the breath. The breath is the vehicle to create magic, not this. This is limited. This has small ideas. It can only create from the past. But this profound experience of breath with the intent to connect to your higher consciousness, your soul, your essence, whatever the word is that you use, it's the more of who you are. So take a breath with me in through your nose and exhale through your nose just because you can, because you get to. This breath that you choose to bring into your physical body is the magical vibration, the truth of who you are. It is not your small mind that says you can't and you shouldn't and you are this that you are. It's this breath of yes, yes, I choose to live. I choose to be here because I love me. And if you don't love you yet, keep breathing. Keep breathing. You know, it's a journey. It's such a sweet journey. And you know, Tanya started the program by saying how we came together, which was pure magic. So my book came out in May of 2020, and Tanya was probably one of the first people to read my story. And she contacted me on June 6th of 2020, telling me how much my book meant to her. And we began to casually chat through Messenger while simultaneously Norma was in the process of letting go of her physical body. And the more that Norma let go, the closer Tanya and I became. And during this process, her wisdom, her guidance, her stability helped me stand very firm in my choice to live as I watched Norma just become so frail, so tiny, and yet her eyes shone bright with love for me, with just this compassionate love that she was. And when she let go, Tanya and I became so connected. And in our work one day, I said to her, "Oh my gosh, did you know you were part of the contract that Norma came in with?" And she was a bit surprised, but she goes, "Oh yeah, I can feel it." And your contract, dear sister, was to finish what Norma could not, which was to help me to come into the realization of who I am. Not the small, fearful Serena, but this essence of I am that is so profound. And one day she said to me, "You know, you could stop going into shock about your story. Could you stay here with me and pass the ketchup?" Which is Norma's saying. And you see, the magic of it is this essence of yes that she and I shared, this yes of breath that wrapped us in this cocoon of compassionate wisdom that kept guiding us step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. We, the human, don't have an idea even of how this show is going to go today. I used to think that Norma knew everything that we were doing, but I know now she didn't. I would have thought that of you too, Tanya, but I know that as this spiritual being that chooses to be all that they are, we as the human part surrenders and said, I show up. I show up in this moment. I wonder what's going to happen. What a fun adventure. So that's the magic for me in this breath, in this moment. But share with us, Tanya, what your magic is.
So going back to how we met, I when I met Norma in the aspectology course, which was in Frankfurt back in 2008, and instantly I felt I was in the right place at the right time, and that she was the example, the standard of what I knew was true. And she spoke of you, Serena. So she shared, she didn't share details of your story, of course, but she shared the integration work that you did together and that you were doing, and the challenges she faced, and the discoveries, and the beauty, and the miracles, and all of these things. And I was just fascinated because of the magic possibility that a human being could have gone through hell and come out, or be coming out on the other side, and that even when you were within that hell, when you were 40, and back in that moment where you were in the Cryon show, with Lee Carroll, and you came on stage, and you asked for help, and you, even though you were so split, there was something in you that said, okay, I do want to move on. And Norma was happened to be there, and that's how it all started. And then coming to a point, so by listening to Norma's stories, I knew that I could integrate anything. So it inspired me to face my darkness with an open heart, fearlessly, and with endless determination. This is something we share in common, this total
Yes.
determination. And
Oh,
there's nothing that can tell us, no, we're not
exactly.
gonna move through this. So when the moment came that your book came out, it was like there was this click, oh, it's time. But it was a very intrinsic click. It's like, Serena is ready, is it's ready, it's time. And so when I read the book and contacted you, it was because I was feeling just this joy. It was so much joy. Of course, we knew, all of us, you, me, Norma, at a soul level, that she would have to depart at some point so that you could do the rest of your journey of integration without her being here physically, because we also knew that through the work that you would be doing and the connection, you would have become so attached to each other that the rest of the journey would have to be done without her being physically present here on earth. So we knew this before she came in, before you came in, before I came in. It's just this agreement. But of course we didn't know, as humans, we had no idea. I had no idea. I mean, I only, like you said, I only knew that when I knew it, and you only knew it when you knew it. But it's just this, oh, that's it. Okay. And so our journey together has reminded us of how much love we share with each other, and we call ourselves sisters. And Serena, you're not the only person I call sister, but that doesn't mean that in each sisterhood that I have, or brotherhood, with whoever, I don't feel the absolute love with each one. It's so unique. And so the love that we share together has this unique magical quality, this unique kind of miracle making quality, this yes, this, the fact that we've made it, the wow, we did meet. And the funny thing is, when I was a child, I always loved the name Serena. And my mom was even going to call me Serena when I was born, but she didn't, because it doesn't sound really good in Portuguese. And my parents are Portuguese, even though I was born in an English speaking country. So she called me Tanya, which was another name she liked. And I always felt this sadness, this frustration, that there was so much bad stuff going on in the world. It's like you and I were walking side by side. You were 17 when I was born. Like, we were walking side by side, and there was just this thin veil, but we could almost touch each other, and I could sense that there was something so terrible going on.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, wow. So these are all these things that we can allow ourselves to sense and to feel. And then coming to a point where we actually meet, and to a point where we actually bond. And I remember when we started working together with the integration journey and all that, you were so afraid of loving. Like, Norma was the only person that you could really trust, and you hadn't opened up to trusting anyone else yet. And so it was this sweet invitation: you can trust more, trust more. And so this love that has developed between us, and is indescribable, but I'm sure whoever is listening, you can feel it. And the beautiful thing is, it is an admiration. We both admire each other so much, but we are not putting each other on a pedestal as
Mhm.
if one is superior or better or whatever. No, it's a pure, innocent admiration. And my God, there are so many reasons to admire you, Serena. So it's been, for me, now coming to this point where we are now sharing this show, which we will be doing on a monthly basis, it's been a constant journey of discovering the endless possibilities of true love. Because
Yes.
I have that inside of me, with me, then it just spills out and reflects, and so we share now that endless love, the same kind of love that I have within me and that you have within yourself, and we get to experience it with other human beings, and we get to see each other creating magical miracles every single day. So it's, we can finally be having this conversation. It's like, my God, how is this even possible? You
Yes.
know? So
And
that's my feeling.
when you said that I was afraid to love, so for me, it's like the front of the hand was my love, but the back of the hand was all this pain connected to what I believed love was. And for me, when you invited me to surrender into the fear, the pain, it was at a different level of allowing for me than I had done with Norma. And so as I did this breath work and I surrendered without any idea, I just allowed the pain to wash over me as big as it needed to get. And it was big. I had had much heartache around what I had considered to be love from the time I was a baby, an infant. And each breath melted this iciness, this fearfulness, this terror, so that today I love, period. It's not that I love Tanya or I love my sons or I love this person or that person. I love, period. I'm in awe of that in a way that is like, wow, this breath really works. This choice to live. You see, the breath brings you into the physical body. And if you're not too much of a friend of your body and you want to escape, then you're in fight with yourself and you're in a place of being stuck. But if you can acknowledge it, you don't have to fix it, you don't have to change it, acknowledge it, sit with it, not from resistance, but from, oh, I understand. Of course I would be afraid to love. Of course I would be afraid to love my sons with no boundaries, because what if they died? Oh, that was a terror for me, a terror. And now I know I don't get to plan for any human being on this planet. Wow. You mean I have to allow everybody their own journey? I don't get to write a script for them? The old me would have said, I'll love you if you promise me you're going to be here for the rest of my life. You can die after I die. I used to tell that to Nora. Are you sure you're not going to die on a plane crash? And she'd say, yes, Serena, I'm coming back. But that kind of love was the only love that I knew at that point. So today, the love that I have is a love that's just open and allowing. So that when I sit in front of someone and they say, oh yeah, my father doesn't love me because I have all these tattoos all over me. He has such judgment about me. I can smile and say, I know. Boy, our parents really want us to be a certain way. But you know, I have no judgment about anybody because of the life that I've had. I have no judgment. And that's such a miracle place to be in. That's magic. You see, this breath has melted every single thing that I came in with, not only from all the past lives that I brought in, but then all the things that I experienced in this lifetime. And I've experienced every single thing that you can on this planet of darkness. And so that's a big statement to say. And I don't have any judgment about it. Wow. No, not at all. That is magic. But how did that magic occur? Yes, I'll breathe. Oh God, this is so hard. I'll breathe. I'll breathe. You mean it's not going to be easy? No, Serena. And every single time I wanted to run, I had either you or Norma sitting across from me saying, I can't do it for you. Keep breathing. This breath is the all of everything. It wraps you in a blanket of such compassionate warmth that no matter what you are experiencing, it washes through you. And if you don't feel it yet, don't get discouraged. Keep breathing. You will. I promise you. It took years and years for me to feel it, but I kept breathing.
Yes. Yes. And I remember those moments within these last 2 years when I was guided 100% of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
everything I needed to do or say just came to me on my journey with you. And the moments when things came to me that I had to say to you that weren't comfortable at all,
Yes.
that I was like, oh my, how will she receive this? But there was this knowingness in my heart that because it's from compassion, because it's not with judgment, because it's for your own good, it's what you're asking and inviting each time I shared, we need to change this, or we need to not chat for a while, or whatever. There were so many different things. I remember one of the big turning points was in on December 25th,
Yes.
2020, when this came to me so clearly that I had to say to you, Serena, now you have to um, detach from depending on any guidance from me
Yeah.
and not communicate with me for some days and really
Yeah.
trust your inner guidance. And that was really
Oh,
hard because at that moment, at that time, we spoke every single day,
yeah.
and we actually spoke live. I mean, not only chatting on Messenger, we had daily conversations. And when that came to me, okay, it's time, it was like, oh boy. And Norma had passed only a few months before, in
Yeah.
September. And so it happened really fast that you shifted into a place that you were ready to start walking with your own 2 feet. And within these 2 years, it's been like that over and over again, now a bit more, now a bit more. But the fine and beautiful thing was that no matter what I had to say, I always said it.
Yes.
And you always received it with an open heart, without resistance. Of course, there were times where it was like,
Yeah. Are you
but
sure?
then, yeah, but then you felt, and you felt, yeah, of course, yeah. And then it was just simple. And I believe this is what makes the difference between us being able to develop this kind of love that we share with each other, and not is this the possibility that we can be 100% honest 100% of the time, and never fear that we're going to lose someone, in the
Yeah.
same way as you were describing before, that you don't get to decide for others. And this is the same thing. You only get to decide what you're going to follow. Is it your heart? Is it your inner knowingness? Is it this pure breath that brings you clarity every single moment, or what? And so if you choose to follow that 100% of the time, you're never afraid of communicating openly, lovingly, of course. There is no other way when you're following your heart. So when my heart brought me the indication, this has to be said, this has to be done, because it was coming from love, I could not do it. And you could not receive it because that's the way you are choosing to go 100% of the time. So one of the most beautiful magical experiences I've had on this journey that we've now been on together is the freedom of being able to be honest no matter what. No
Yes.
matter what eventual consequences we might think can happen, they never happen. Because when we're following from the purity of our heart, communicating to someone else's heart, only the very best outcome, no matter what it is, and there can't be a judgment about that, is
Right.
provided. So it is a slow and gentle unfolding that creates this love that we keep on allowing.
Yes.
It is not you just click your fingers and there you are.
Right.
No, it's something that evolves within each breath, within each moment, within each yes. And we keep on saying yes. And another thing I remember that was a key moment was when I had to say to you, you know, Serena, you can choose to leave now.
Oh, yes. I forgot that.
And in that moment, it was like, oh gosh, I'm supposed to say that. I mean, now I know. Imagine if she's gonna commit suicide or something like that, you know. But okay, I said it. I had to say it, Serena. You can leave now if you'd like. You have the freedom to choose. If you'd like to just end this journey here, the work you've done so far has shifted you permanently into a different state of consciousness. And in that moment, you were like, what? What? And so we breathed together, and you felt into the possibility of leaving, and you felt into the possibility of staying. And though it was terribly painful at the time, you were going through a lot of integration as you've been for all these years, but it was physically painful because this last 2 years has been a lot about coming into the body and bringing everything into the body, bringing your essence more vividly into the physicality. And it was really painful, but you were so clear about, I'm staying.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I want to keep on living. Actually, I want to discover living because I have no idea what it is.
But that was such a profound gift to me when you said that I let go into both of them. It was necessary because I had held this possibility of committing suicide as an ace in the hole. Norma would talk about it all the time. And so I thought I had integrated it fully. But as we discover, some things come up repeatedly that we have to integrate because they're layered like an onion. And as I let go into, oh, I could leave, my contract is done, I felt, oh, I don't want to. You see, that's the discovery part of it, that's the sweetness. Because I had been in resistance my whole life. I had learned to fight to survive. Instead of receive in, I had fought to survive because that's what I was trained to become. So in the beginning, when you talk about how I am just this open vessel of yes, well, in the beginning, when I worked with Norma, God bless her, it was no, 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 no. It was no all the time. It was, I don't like what you're saying. And she'd say, take a breath, Serena. Do you notice you're fighting me? And if you've read my book, you go, oh, yeah, I remember reading that. So for everyone who's on this journey, you can see Tanya and you can see me, and we are the result of continuing to breathe, get back up off the ground and going, okay, here I go. I'll do it again. It's not this idea that your mind says it's a script and we're going to write it out and it's going to be very neat. It's going to be packaged. It's going to look really pretty. Okay. That's what the church wants you to believe. It's a lie. It's bullshit. Okay. The truth is, when you choose to become the more of who you are, it's a breath by breath experience. It's a moment by moment experience. Do you have to do it like me? No. I was sort of like the pioneer. And I say that
Yeah.
because I experienced everything that this planet has to offer in the way of darkness. And I don't say that lightly. I say that from a place of authority. Every single thing that this planet offers in darkness, I experienced this lifetime. So take a breath and really receive what I just said. Try to stay out of judgment because I know your mind's racing.
And wanting to know the details.
Yes. Everything? Does it mean this? Does it mean that?
Yeah.
So take a breath and drop below your mind. So it means that every single thing I had to face and sit with in non judgment. Now, how did I do that? I said, Soul, I don't know how to do this. I'm judging this experience. It's so bad. It's so awful. It's nightmarish. How could I have done that? How could I have felt that? How could I have seen that? And my soul would say, I'm here, sweetie. And Norma would say, I'm here, sweetie. And Tanya would say, I'm here, sweetie. And you see that loving compassion is so warm. It has no judgment. The church says, oh, yes, God has judgment. I'm telling you, that's a lie. And breath by breath, belief by belief, we had to uncover everything that I believed so that I could walk into this new life. And every time I fell down and I said, I don't think I can do this. This is too hard. This sucks. I'm angry. She'd say, breathe. Let the rage get as big as it needs to get. And I would sit in my little house here in Colorado and I would scream as loud as I needed to. And I would cry as much as I needed to. And I would deny as much as I needed to. And then I'd take another breath. It was not pretty. It was hard. But you know what? The other side, the spirit, the essence, and all those that walk with you, every time you fall down, they help you stand back up again. You are not alone. I tell you that, hear that, you are not alone.
Can we just breathe with that a while for everyone to be able to really feel this?
Let your breath come so deep into your body that it feeds you, just like a sweet cookie when you bite into it with anticipation. And you swallow it with joy. Swallow your breath with joy. Let it ripple down, down, down into every single cell in your body. You are not alone. You are not alone.
Allow yourself the sweetness of knowing this in each breath, for that is enough to hold you safe so that you can continue your journey into the more of who you truly are.
Yes. Oh, yes. So the more that you become aware of your mind that tells you the lies, and you pay attention to the essence of your breath, the words of your soul, you begin to experience the divinity of who you are. There is no recipe of how to do it. You just show up.
Yeah,
And both Tanya and I on our websites, I will be offering an integration class in January. Tanya offers integration classes. They help in this journey of, God, this is really messy. How do I do it? And it's individual, and it's with 2, 3, 4, 5 people, but it's so profound. I've done it with Tanya, her Beyond the Illusion of classes. They're wonderful because you share the journey with 2 or 3 other people besides Tanya, and you discover some unique things that are just specific for you and those other people in your class. There's always an answer. Always.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, because that's a miracle and the magic. Many times, our we've learned from mass consciousness that we shouldn't need to ask for help and that we're supposed to do it alone. And yes, we do walk our path alone because no one can walk it for us, but we can walk it together. And one magical shift I'd like to share with you that happened to me in the last month or two was precisely that, in the work I do with integration with other people, um, I used to be in my presence, in my safe space, obviously, and being with the other person in this safe space creates a safe space in itself. But I also would hold that space firmly so that the person could stay in that and really find their bearings even when the darkness got too noisy. And the moment I decided, okay, I'm done with that, I'm not holding it for anyone, because it just is a waste of energy and does not um, allow faster independence. So, and what do I mean by that? I am here, I am that I am. My presence is a safe space, is compassionate. And whoever would like to be in their own presence that is a safe space and compassionate will more easily, obviously, because when we connect to each other, be in that if they're going through a challenging moment, of turmoil, of inner discovery, of discovering the dark aspects, and so on. It helps if we are connected to others who are in that safe space within them. But holding it for the other person will, of course, it's helpful for the other person, but for me it isn't. and and what happens is because these aspects, these what we call what we call dark aspects are just the parts of us that are unloved, unaccepted, avoided, and denied. That's all. And these aspects, um, you know, they create a resistance, obviously, because they don't trust us enough until we can really say it's enough. I do not want to play this game of separation anymore. So if the other person is giving in to mind stories and all that, and I'm holding that space of presence, but there's this pull to get out of it, it's not my responsibility to hold anything, absolutely anything, even if you pay me for that. I'm not being paid to hold space for anyone, and so I'm declaring that publicly. I don't hold space for anyone. I just am in my own space and presence. And the moment I made that decision, like I'd already made the decision, but not in a way that it was so, okay, no, wait a minute, I am only in my energy. What happened was that we've already had a few we have personalized retreats, and when I say we, is me and Joanna, my other sister, and my other closest sister. And we have these individual retreats, integration retreats, and it used to be quite draining when the days before, during the retreat, and after, because we were holding that space for people to really be in that space where integration is easier. And the moment I said, no, none of that is going to happen ever again, I experience no draining, no tiredness, no physical discomfort, nothing. And there's so much so that last week I attended the Web Summit, which is a huge tech event that happens. There were people from 160 countries, so it's an international event. And there were 71,033. I like the little 33 at the end. People at the event, and it was just the first time ever that I was able to be for 4 days amongst a load of people and to feel the joy of being amongst these people, because I love people. I just love humanity. So much so that I have huge faith in humanity. No matter what is going on, no matter what people say, no matter nothing, that doesn't break my faith. And it doesn't break it with the whole of humanity, and it doesn't break it with each and every single individual, no matter what they're doing, no matter what they seem to be. I have unbreakable faith in humanity because I have unbreakable faith in myself, obviously. So being there was just this, it was like for those 4 days I was in constant celebration of, woo, this is magic, this is magic. Now I can be amongst all of these people all at once, with all of their thoughts, their energies, their feelings, their aspects, everything, and it doesn't affect me. Oh my God, this is it, this is it. And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you is that this is a constant discovery. And we keep on having to adjust and find out, okay, how do I do this? And just, listening. And it's not that our soul, our essence, has all the answers. Our soul keeps on inviting us, depending on the circumstances, depending on the now moment. There are no two now moments. And this now moment is new. It's never happened before. Therefore, this gullible belief that our soul knows everything about everything and knows exactly what's going to happen in the next new now is bullshit. No, It's a moment to moment discovery. What matters is the presence, is remaining in that presence, is remaining in that clarity, is remaining in that safe warmth of the breath that
But Tanya,
just
let me,
tells us to be here.
but if you right now feel a gulp, I don't like what Tanya said, this is where you get to choose to pay attention to that. When this show is over, you take the moments to pay attention to what are the beliefs around it. And you will hear child aspects saying, but I need to be able to run to my soul. She knows everything. I need to be a little chickadee and hide, and whatever the stories are. This is where you, as the human, starts to pay attention to your beliefs and says, what do you mean my soul doesn't know what's going to happen? I don't like that. That's the key. You see, that's the magical piece of it. As the creator, you get to pay attention and say, am I going to ignore this thought and this uncomfortable feeling? Or am I going to stop and pay attention to it? Now, that doesn't mean you get to check out all day and do it at night. It means you pay attention to your thoughts
Now,
now, your
yeah.
body now. So let's open up the questions for people and see what they may have questions about what we've spoken about.
Yeah, because in a short while we will be ending.
Mhm.
And yeah, so your soul doesn't it knows everything, yes, but not in the sense that the mind figures that knowing everything means. Okay, so
Right.
it's like the mind believes that knowing everything is a certain thing, and in fact the knowingness of knowing everything is a completely different thing that we don't even know.
But you and I can laugh about it because we know what you're saying, you know?
Exactly, exactly. So it's you just keep on discovering what it's like, because basically the thing is this is a journey of being an embodied soul embodied in a human self. So if soul already knew everything, why the hell would soul want to have a journey like that? So yes, you, the human, has to keep on showing up, because
Yes.
you are essential for the fruition of this journey. And yes, you, the human, are the one who is being invited constantly to stay, to listen, to feel, to sense. And if you would like to allow yourself that moment to moment guidance. It's not long term guidance. No, no, no. It's moment to moment guidance. That's it. The human is not some part that is forsakable and dismissible. No, 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 no. Much on the contrary. The human self is not, I'm not talking about the ego. The human self is a part of the soul self, because it's all the same thing. There is no two different things. And the soul self is wanting to experience human self as long as the human allows. The experience of that wholeness within a physical, seemingly limited body, within a physical, seemingly limited reality. And I say seemingly on purpose, because this show, this the title is Discovering the Magic. Because yeah, it is not that limited.
Oh,
So
it's not limited. Remember, when in August of 2020, when I would start to tell you, my soul is saying my body's like a piece of wood vibrationally. Well, how can that be? I've done all this work. Well, let's trust and do what, do what my soul is suggesting. And now, 2 years later, a little over 2 years later, my body is no longer like a piece of wood. Uh, This this magic that we're going to talk about once a month is so profound. When you talk, Tanya, of the soul knows, it's not on a linear, it's not a story like the mind wants. The soul knows this grander picture, and can we embody it as the human soul?
Yeah,
Is
that is so perfect. I'm just going to show a few of the comments here so that everyone can also have a chance to read them. The song, I have a brand new pair of roller skates and you have a brand new key, has been on my heart the last few days. Thank you very much. The new now, over and over and over and over again. Never repeated, just becoming, just becoming. And Yvonne shares, soul has the wisdom but doesn't know until it is experienced by the human, its main aspect, as embodied here on Earth. It's the main aspect whilst on this planet. Thank you for sharing your wisdom as well, Yvonne.
beautiful.
And Kathy is celebrating with us the explorations and the gift of the breath and the love. Thank you very much, Kathy, all the way from Portugal, and Serena is much closer to you. Thank you very, very much. And I suggest we just breathe a bit together again
Yes,
before we wrap this up for today. Do you agree, Serena?
I agree so much. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you want to lead us in breath, my dear friend
Okay,
and sister?
we can intersperse our creative
Sure.
voice. So I invite everyone to close your eyes and to feel the warmth of your breath as you inhale deeply and softly through your nose, feeling that warmth come down into your belly as it fills happily, receiving you here now. And when you exhale, oh, such a relief to just be here. Nowhere else, nothing else to do. No need to think or figure out, to fix anything. Just you, receiving the warmth of your presence in each breath.
Feel your breath and hear again what she just said. You don't have to fix anything. Notice how your mind doesn't know how to even comprehend that. But as you breathe so deeply and settle deep into your core, you can observe without becoming a part of your thoughts. For you are perfect as you are in this very moment. Settle back into your perfection, into your body, and melt. Just like when you get into the tub and you feel the warm water caress your skin. Let go into your breath so fully that every muscle can open, that warmth can overtake every bone in your body, so the stress can just leave as you exhale. You are making room for more of you. Isn't that wonderful?
And notice the sprinkle of beauty that starts coming from within you as you breathe. Hmm, such a sparkling joy. Thank you, dear one. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us today, playing with us.
Oh, and I'd like to share one really, really joyful celebration, which is that today the conscious breath immersive experience created with Tom Lemo's music and my breath guidance called So It's Simple has just come out today. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's created for a story that seems to be for children, but that in fact is for everyone. And the gift of it, I won't even begin to describe it because only you can experience it. But really, it's about allowing that inner child in all of its reflections to realize it is loved. Oh, yes, it is precious and it is allowed. So, if you'd like to find that on my website, it's right on the front page, and it's a cause for huge celebration. And Tom and I are really rejoicing, as well as all of our friends. So, yeah, today has been a really auspicious day, starting with carrying wheelbarrows in my construction project, and the this CD and the book and the audiobook and all that coming out, and us, Serena, you and I, here now. Oh my God, who would say that it would actually happen? And it is true. We are the epitome of it is possible.
Yes. And like Norma said before the show started, because she came and she said, today is the beginning of the new, for the end of the contracts are finished. And that is a remarkable, remarkable statement. And so you and I are in celebration, and I have to tell everyone, you have to listen to this audiobook. It is magic. Your voice is so beautiful. And we thank
Thank
you
you.
all. We thank everyone that joined us and that will listen.
Yeah.
Remember, it's a breath at a time, a moment at a time. It layers itself one on the other, and your choice of, yes, I'll show up, I'll try it again, is all that matters.
Yes. Oh, I am so happy. Well, it's not happy in whatever old sense. It's just this, this overflowing gratitude. That's my happiness.
Mine too.
Thank you all. Thank you, Serena.
Oh,
Thank you.
Tanya, thank you. Thank you. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye for now. See you next month.
Yes.
You can watch the replay on our YouTube channels and on my Facebook page on our profiles. Thank
Yes.
you.